.ae.
Welcome back to the Debrief. Dane and Sana with you. We're talking about ChatGPT and the new health feature, which is it's quite scary, actually.
Are you that nervous about it?
I just don't like the idea of uploading your medical data into something like ChatGPT, but that's just me. I am also the same person that asks ChatGPT for a lot of things, and I will probably put in more data than I'm realizing I'm putting in. So that is also on me. Thanks to Brian, who's been in touch, saying, does Excellent, as in Excel, and Sana also have a spreadsheet for her diet instead of ChatGPT?
You know what? I don't have a spreadsheet, but I do have multiple apps.
I like that name for you. Excellent Sana.
Stop it. This is not what I want to be named. This is not what I want to be known for, is my Excel spreadsheets. But yes, we have been talking about ChatGPT and its new feature, ChatGPT Health. We've also heard the views of tech expert Evan Kraus. He is the vice chairman, president, board member, and chief operating officer of APCO Worldwide. And look, this is something that's supposed to be completely private. So it's supposed to be a separated feature in ChatGPT, only available after signing up for through a wait list. And
have you got to pay? Is it on the premium plan or is it open to anyone?
Open to anyone. And it's the entire point is it's not meant to be a doctor. It's not meant to provide diagnoses. It's mainly to just consolidate all of your health advice in one place, be sort of your simple speak version, help you prompt questions to ask to your own health physicians and things like that.
So in theory, I could upload my medical file and say, give me an overall quick summary of the conditions that I have. And when I'm going to see a doctor and they say, okay, what's wrong with you or what is your health history, I can get a quick summary of that instead of trying to explain conditions that are way over my head. Yes.
I mean, to be fair, that is also something that they should be looking at regardless, right? Like your entire file. That being said, the entire idea of uploading all of your medical data into ChatGPT Health is only currently available in the US through their providers. So they have like one consolidated app, a bunch of different providers are on it. You can only do it through that because there's loads and loads of checks to go through that, which is they're trying to roll that out worldwide after they are able to at least figure out this data for everyone. But I think the entire point is tailored advice. Tailored advice, like Evan said as well, kind of being your health concierge, which is a good idea in concept, a little bit scary in execution when it comes to privacy and the amount of your data that's online or whether or not you really believe in OpenAI being that secure.
If this was a new company saying that they would do that for you, though, I think more people would be like, oh, this sounds good.
Yes.
But I think it's because it's that ChatGPT angle, maybe it puts the fear in people.
Exactly. So we actually wanted to get the opinion from the health industry as well, not just on the tech side. So we've gotten our guest in studio, expert in the field of medicine and GP, Dr. Rhea Kotecha. So can I ask you straight up, how have you ever used ChatGPT as a doctor? Have you ever turned to it for its advice or outcomes?
I personally haven't, but I do see that there can be potential benefits. Going on to what you're speaking about, patients uploading all their data into this and getting some tailorized advice. I think that could be really helpful, but we need to be quite careful about how to go about it. We have so many people that come into my consulting room for longevity programs and say, I'm so healthy, I've got a Whoop and an Aura, I'm tracking everything. And I ask, what are you doing with the data? Well, I look at my steps. But what else? Like, you're not really using that data in the productive way. You may think that gathering all this data is so great, but unless you actually use it to motivate behavior and make actual changes, it's not great. So this could be quite helpful in this space.
I guess understanding that data instead of just reading that, okay, your steps and, your particular levels are okay.
Exactly.
Have you come across people that come to you and say, I've put this into ChatGPT and here's the problem?
Yes, all the time. All the time. And it's actually quite funny because you find really anxious people put in very anxious information and get very anxious responses back because ChatGPT is primed to respond to the inputs you give it, right? You may have somebody who's like an older man in his 60s that doesn't really care about his health. And if he puts something in, it might be falsely reassuring. So it's kind of the tone and
Sounds
the nuance
a bit like mine.
that you put in is what you get out.
Don't worry, Dane, you'll be fine.
Interesting. No, I mean, it's interesting, though, because to me, I would probably come to you and not know my entire data. I wouldn't know what to give you out of all of my history, right? Like over 30-ish years of history. And I don't know what to give you because there's so much that's happened there. So is it a good idea to do something like this and say, you know what, you're my doctor. You have access now to my consolidated files through ChatGPT Health. Can you just read it? Or do you think you would actually need me to tell you? Is there a difference essentially in that?
I think a bit of both. Like if it's used as an adjunct, AI with human care and human connection, I think can be really powerful. And that's really exciting because data is what we need for longevity medicine. We need this for predictable models. We need this for preventative medicine. You can't fit all of that information in one consult. And you also mentally, I mean, I can't do this. I don't know if other doctors out there can. You can't plot these graphs and look at trends like that. But if there's a tool that can look at that data for you and sort of look at trajectories, plus the human connection, asking those few questions that ChatGPT didn't, that, you know, I've noticed a bit of anxiety. I've noticed few things, your skin's looking a bit odd or something like that. Examination is something that ChatGPT doesn't have, right? But going back to what you're saying, you have so much data. Being able to summarize it and be more specific with the questions you ask your doctor is great because it makes you really specific about what you need to ask. And I think that's really helpful.
Evan, just want to bring you back in here too. When it comes to things like insurance providers, we touched on this earlier on. Should we genuinely be concerned about that, though, when it comes to uploading information into something like ChatGPT and the future of how these insurance providers, big pharmaceutical companies, will use that information and data?
So that's what the privacy policies are all about. What can the provider to whom you're providing the data do with that data? And, you know, I think the regulatory framework, this is very different country by country, but I think the regulatory framework that's common practice around health data is your health data is your data, and it can't be shared without your consent explicitly for something. And so if I were to use this system, and I'm not a subscriber yet, although I am American, I could probably try. And I might do it after this segment. There's great comments by the doctor. You know, I think I would read it and make sure that they can't distribute those things to my life insurance provider to do an actuarial assessment of me, or to my insurance provider to maybe set a rate for me. But, you know, right now, OpenAI is running ads because it's January and everyone has New Year's resolutions. They're actually running ads on television. How do I keep my running program this year? And they scroll through an answer while you see in the background people running. You know, inexperienced runners, like, to this inspirational music in the background. It's all about how ChatGPT helps you achieve your goals. But it's all generic, right? Yeah. Imagine if we knew how many steps you were taking and whether you were ramping up or down and what times of day seem to be the most active for you and whether you've had a good night's sleep or not. And what do those trends look like? You know, using that data in a productive way to say, help me improve my VO2 max by 10%. Help me improve my level of fitness. I want to take my heart rate down by X. I want to take my A1C levels to somewhere. And if you had advice that was tailored based on that data, it would be really powerful. Now, I don't want the insurance companies to see that unless I want them to see that. And so those protections just need to be in place. That's what regulations and policies are for.
Okay, all right. Well, the experts are in the studio with us at this hour. If you've got any questions, 4001 on the text. And we're continuing the debate about ChatGPT and healthcare. Is it a line you just don't want to cross, or should we be looking into it a little bit more? 4001 on the text.
Your ARN News.
Indian educator Ruble Nagy has been named the winner of the Global Teacher Prize